It's a great evening, our dear viewers. We are here again this Sunday evening, the 28th of May, 2023. It is again the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice together as we bring on Occupy Today yet another time. We're glad to have you this evening. We're glad to have you tuned in. Please keep it right there and let us enjoy the show tonight. We're looking forward to a very engaging, very engaging show, because I'm joined by two amazing guests this evening, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy the show even as we uncover how to run a business strategically. And this is Occupy Today on Hope TV. We are here to help you shine in the marketplace, you business person, but also those of you who haven't joined a business as yet and you're looking forward to running a business. This is where you need to be tonight so that you can be inspired to build a strategy and to look forth to building a business strategically. So here we are. I want to introduce our guest this evening, even as we look forth to discussing this topic together. And I'm excited to host you. Sarah Kajuju is my name. Karibuni sana. Thank you, lady and gentlemen. I'm excited to have you on the show tonight, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about how you've been running your businesses. I know, at least I've interacted with both of you separately before, and I know that you have amazing businesses out there. So I'm looking forward to learn, even as I host you tonight. So I want to invite you to introduce yourselves. We can start with the lady. Tell us your name, tell us what you're doing, tell us what your business is all about. We are looking forward to hearing from you, Lilian. Karibu.
Thank you very much, our host this evening. I'm so glad that I'm here tonight. I run a business called Dream Credit Limited, and Dream Credit, primarily, we finance businesses. We've been doing this for the last 14 years, and our value proposition is where people have an order and we're there 45 minutes to satisfy their needs. So that's what we are keen in, and over the years, that was we've been doing.
45 minutes, my friend.
Yes, upon compliance, 45 minutes, you have the money. Yeah.
I want to link up with you after this, Lilian. I didn't know that. I mean, I know you lend money, I know you give money to businesses, but I've never known that it can be so quick.
It can be so quick because when a business person needs money, they have exhausted their savings.
Yes.
That means they are coming to you as the last resort, because who would like to pay the cost for money if they have their savings?
I know.
So that's why our value proposition is quick turnaround time.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa, amazing. Are you hearing that?
I'm telling you, that's
value proposition.
Wonderful.
And it's so clear.
Yes.
45 minutes.
Straight
Not even an hour.
Yeah, 45 minutes compliance, and we are good
and
to go.
we are good to go. We'll be hearing more from from you on that one, Lilian. It's exciting, really exciting to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Looking forward to see how this 45 minutes works and how then you're strategically running your business, right?
Sure.
Lovely.
Thank
Karibu
you.
sana. Thank you. Kennon.
Yes, Sarah.
Mbae.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you my dad is Mbaya?
Oh,
You're
interesting.
Mbae, I am Mbaya, my
Ver
friend.
Oh.
Karibu sana, and introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Sarah and Lilian. Nice to hear about the business that you run. My name is Kennon Mbae. I run a business called Mwalimu Biashara. Those two words are specific there. One is because we train businesses, we empower businesses into knowing the way forward. And the Biashara bit is because we have a heart for businesses, young businesses, upcoming businesses. So that's a combination that we run. We do very many things, but today we are here to talk about running a business strategically. So we'll center our discussion around that. But our clientele ranges from individuals to organizations into very many aspects. The bottom line is we help people make more money, grow their money, and protect their money.
Wow.
Those are
Make
the three
more
things.
money,
Grow
their
their
money,
and protect
their money.
Those three things.
Hey,
Yes.
you guys are about money. I'm really hoping by the end of the show I will have so much money. Because you're all about money, both
It is possible.
Kennon and Lilian.
Yes.
So most welcome, Kennon.
Thank you very
It's
much.
good to host Mwalimu Biashara yet another time, or to have a discussion with you yet another time.
Yes, yes.
And I'm hoping that it will be a very rich and fruitful discussion this evening.
Absolutely.
So right on into running a business strategically. My goodness, strategic. What is this all about? When we talk about running businesses strategically or being strategic in business, what are we talking about? What is strategy? Any of you who would want to uncover this a little and tell us what does it mean even for your business? It doesn't have to be anything out there. Yeah.
Maybe I can start off, then Lilian can add on. When you talk about strategy, it is a big, big word. So to simplify it, is the ability of a business to see where it is headed. In very simple terms, where are you headed? Now you could look at it in a day, in a week, in a month, in whatever span you're looking at things. Where are you headed? And then secondly, what do you need to go there? And who do you need to get you there? So in summary, we can say strategy is about the ability of a business person to have that visibility about their business. I think that's how I can put it in summary.
Simple
very
terms,
simple
isn't
terms.
it?
Yeah.
So I hear you say what,
Yes.
when,
Yes.
where,
Who?
with whom,
Yes.
and so
How?
on and so forth, and
Yes.
how. Oh yes, and how. I had
Absolutely.
forgotten that one.
Yes.
Whoa, that's quite something.
Yes.
So in this show tonight, dear viewers, we will be looking at how to get your business there, right from where you are. And some of you, we appreciate that you may not even have begun, but we're looking at how to run your business strategically. You're beginning today, but there is a tomorrow to live for. Then how do you look at running it for tomorrow and the day after, and so on and so forth, so that you're meeting some certain objective. You're just not running haphazardly, but you're doing something that is fruitful, that looks at tomorrow. And of course, the other day I was talking to somebody and I was telling them the environment we are in has been described as VUCA. You've seen that term.
Yes, yes.
It's volatile,
Volatile.
it's, is it unpredictable, uncertain,
Yes.
it is
Complicated
and it is
ambiguous.
isn't it?
Yes.
And so for you to be able to run your business strategically, then this is something you need to understand. You need to understand the environment you're in, the people you're working with, what exactly you're doing, how you're doing it, and so on and so forth. And I'm glad that you've actually uncovered that in a very simple way, Kennon.
Yes.
So for you, Lilian, Dream Credit, do you have strategy?
Oh yes, we do
do
have
have
strategy. And just to add to what Mwalimu Biashara said, also is going to look at sustainability of the business. It's going to look at business that won't be there tomorrow and day after. So sustainability is very key. And when we talk of strategy, I know it's a big word, but it's good also to just break it down. And just to add to what has been saying, that one, you have a purpose. Why are you getting to the business? There is a purpose that connects you to the business. And just to relate it to our own story, it can be your own experience, or it can be other people's experiences. And for us, it was a need out of an inquiry. And we thought, wait a minute, customers are looking for very fast processing. How can we make that happen? Yeah. So our purpose really is to ensure there is convenience. It's very convenient for people to access funds when they need it. Because remember, funds come at a cost. So if you can use the savings, the better. But should you need the cash, then it means spend needs to be of essence. So the purpose is very key. The other thing is the bit of the market. Who are you serving? Who are you going to target? And why do you think this idea can succeed? What are the competitors doing? And what gap is there?
Wow.
Remember, filling the gap is where you now bring in the issue of value proposition
Yes.
to the customers. Because you'll be asking, what is this the customers are needing? Is it the speed? Is it the convenience? And hopefully we'll come to that, because speed is one thing, but we find one of our segments of clients, they want to be served at their offices. So you have to really make that happen, otherwise you lose business. So the market is very important. The customer is key. The other person that you need to think of is a supplier. You cannot survive alone as a business. You need people to feed into your business, be it stationally, be it the other financial institution. You need to work together with other financial institutions. So it's very key to think of suppliers. For viewers who are into product business, then you ask yourself, what about raw materials? And that consistent needs be there. Because why would a supplier prefer you and not the other person?
The other person.
Yeah. The other bit is you have to have a value proposition to the employees. Because why are they working for you? What do they need? You have to be clear with that, because they are coming to have an impact to customers. Money will come and go. But the question is, what's the impact do they have? The other thing, you may have a great vision, but what about ensuring you put action to what you need to do? And action, and that's why we have the key performance indicators. You need to know, when will you know you've gotten there already?
I hear you.
So it's very, very key to have a value proposition for the key stakeholders, and not forgetting compliances are very key, because you can run a very successful business, but if you don't comply with the laws of the place, then it becomes a challenge.
Whoa.
And can be very, very expensive, and you may lose the dream. Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking you're still keeping the dream, you've lost it as you do your things every other day.
Sure.
Waking up to do one thing and do the other, yet you've lost the track that you are on.
Absolutely.
Oh wow! So I hear Lilian in a nutshell say. In fact, I hear you just paint the whole image of a whole business, right from the suppliers to the market, to your staff, to your systems, to financing, every bit of that business. So for you, Kennon,
Yes.
what does this look like in terms of strategy with Mwalimu Biashara? Where is strategy? Do you even have it? And how is it tangible? Is it there? You know, I want to have a feel of strategy within your business.
At Mwalimu Biashara now.
Yes.
Okay. So first I'll say Mwalimu Biashara started 7 years ago. It was, we just went in and said, I like what Lilian has said. What is the gap? And the gap is there are very many businesses who have very good intentions. They want to get there. But the road to get there is not very, very clear to them. And that's when Mwalimu Biashara came in. So yes, we do have a strategy. Talking about what we wake up to do every morning. We wake up every morning to empower people. In the realm of running a business, information is so important. And for that matter, the right information. So the businesses you've worked on or work with, you'll go to a certain organization, and you see that they have the dream, they have the financing, maybe they have the staff members, but they've not crystallized their market. Who exactly are you serving? Borrowing from what Lilian has said. So it's just trying to see the gaps with organizations, and then with the experience that we've had wherever we've worked, it's about bringing complexity and making it simple. When you walk up to someone whose business is doing nuts, they're selling nuts, all they need to know is simply show me, how do I sell these nuts the best way? So our strategy is to go out there and simplify it for business people. And again, now as an organization, yes, I've said 7 years, that's when we started. We've now gotten into automation because we realize one thing to help businesses is the ability to scale. Help them scale. How do you give businesses an opportunity to run their business in a way that they can scale? I'm an accountant by profession.
You look it. You sound it.
Yeah, I'm an accountant. So seeing the whole idea around bookkeeping, when someone wants to go for money from Lilian, they will need their books in order.
Definitely.
But bookkeeping has been such a headache for a long, long time. So what we do at Mwalimu Biashara, we put together systems, very simple systems. And in a way that the business person can be able to see where matters are coming from, where they're going, simplifying that whole process as an example. So our strategy is about going there and simplifying it for people, and in a way that is scalable, so to speak. Yeah.
Wow. Strategy for yourself, strategy for other businesses.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. It's amazing. And I'm hoping that our dear viewers, you're getting value for your tuning in this evening, because our guests are rich. They are rich with knowledge. They are rich with experience. They have run businesses, and they talk about running a strategic business this evening. I'm really hoping that this is touching the core of your heart and the core of your business. And just in case you would need help, these two are here. They're such a resource. In fact, I realize that these are such a resource, and we should be able to tap into this. And I'm sure they'll be sharing some more with us on how you can be able to reach them, on how you can be able to benefit, to even build a strategic business going forward if you haven't thought about strategy for your business. So moving on very swiftly, Lilian, Must somebody go to school to learn, not to run, but to learn how to run a strategic business? Or is there a way that you're able to hone these skills even as you move on with your business every other day? Is it that complex? Maybe that's what I'm asking in simple terms.
I'll look at it not in a complex way, because we live in a community and we keep on identifying gaps. And I just want to give an example. A few years back, I interacted with an entrepreneur who was based in Gikomba Market. Those years, 10 years back, getting to Gikomba Market would be very, very muddy. And people will shop very early in the morning, say 5 a.m., and change and go to the offices. So this particular business owner saw a need and realized people want to have their shoes neat. Instead of going carrying 2-3 pairs of shoes, he realized there was a need, and he came up with gumboots, where you could get in, rent the gumboots, get into the market, leave your shoes, you find them cleaned and all that, get to the market, shop, and leave. And ensure your shoes are very neat. You wear your shoes, you look neat, and go to the office. And when we look at that, we ask ourselves, is it very complicated skill set? It's more of observation. We are not saying that you must have a PhD or a master's or a degree to run a business. But through observation, you're able to observe and see, what can I do? That doesn't mean with time you don't learn. And that's why we have Mwalimu Biashara here telling us, how can we then work strategically? Because you as a business owner, you really need to ensure you well have the capacity that as business grows, remember you employ people at the end of it all. What kind of a leader will you be? So as you go along, it's going to take time, get into programs that can really assist you to develop you as a business owner, because you can be an actual risk.
I hear
Yeah.
you. Wow, a business owner can be an
Yes.
actual risk to their own business. Are
A
you
big
hearing
one.
that?
Yes.
That's big. That's large. And why I say this emphatically is because it's possible to lose a business to yourself. I mean, you're the owner of the business, but you're the thing that is standing. You're the limitation that business has to moving further. Why? Because you haven't developed yourself. And for me, by the way, self-development is key. So that is the beginning of running a business strategically, because you cannot give to your business what you don't have. If you don't have finance, you can't give it finance.
You can't.
Knowledge, you can't give it knowledge. The skill, you can't give it a skill. So I'm loving that, Lilian. So then in Dream Credit, I am hearing you saying within 45 minutes, you're actually able to avail finances for a business. What sort of systems, what sort of relationship do you have with your customers then to enable them to access your finances? And I'm hearing you say that this is a big part of the strategy in running a business. So how do you do it? Maybe you can...
Yeah, that's a very good question, because I always look at it from why would a customer come to us? To us, speed is of essence. And it's good to mention in a nutshell, we've been in business for the last 14 years. And within that 14 years, we've defined our business in terms of segments. Who do we want to focus on? Because that is very key. And I'm not saying that a walk-in cannot get the money, but from a business resources, where do you really want to focus all the resources to grow that business? And we look at the health sector. Health sector, we ask ourselves, what problem are we solving? And one of the areas we find there could be, if a hospital, for example, a private hospital, is partnering with an insurance company or NHIF, there could be the payment timelines. Could be 90 days, could be 60 days, could be 45 days. And with that, that means the timing of the cash flow, it could be a challenge. And you're not saying that this business will stop, a hospital cannot stop running because insurance companies, for instance, have not paid. Suppliers have to be paid. So the gap we sought there is to ensure we have a limit. Should there be delays, employees can be paid. suppliers can be paid. And another value proposition there in case they want to buy ambulances or assets. So we are clear on that value proposition. The other value proposition is private schools. We realize when schools open, and I'll give an example that we are grateful that COVID is behind us. But you can imagine during COVID, how many parents paying school fees? They're waiting for schools to be opened. So if the premises were rented, the school owner was still paying rent.
You can say that again.
If they had taken a loan for buses or all that, then it meant that they were still paying
The loan.
the loans. Then we realized there's a gap there in saying, why don't we have a limit for a school owner? When they are off money, then we are able to finance them. And during holidays, I believe few parents would think, let me pay school fees. We pay maybe 1 week to opening time. So that means the school owner has challenges. When do they refurbish the school? It's during holidays.
During holidays, yes.
When do they build the junior classrooms? It's during the holidays.
Yeah.
So we partner in school with schools on that value chain to help them construct junior classrooms, renovate schools, pay school teachers during and workers during the holidays. The other area is manufacturers. And for now, we find we are talking about dollars rate going up. And the question is, when you think of forex going up, if an importer of a manufacturer is importing raw materials, there's a challenge already. The cost of raw materials has gone up.
It's gone up.
Meaning the arrangement with their own savings or arrangement with their own financials is looking off.
Yeah, that's
So we come in, have a limit with them. When they come in and they need the cash, we are there to provide that cash. Because nobody had foreseen that dollar can move to 116 to almost
Imagine.
140.
140.
140.
And that's quite
Someone
high.
was telling me, did somebody mention yesterday 151?
Yes.
Yes, 138.
So 138, 140, thereabouts. So you find that is what not anticipated. But the question is, this manufacturer cannot change the payment terms with the customers. If there was a credit period, that credit period remains.
I know.
But they have to continue manufacturing.
I hear you.
So that's the gap that we identified and thought it's key that we stand in there for their working capital, raw materials especially, payment of workers, and also purchase of assets. Because if one is a manufacturer, you have to have sample products. So you must have maybe a Pro box or any other vehicle to ferry them. So that's another area we look at. In the agribusiness space, we are keen on the fruits, majoring in avocados, tea, because once you export, you take 45 days to 60 days. By that time, a farmer needs the money now. You cannot allow somebody to pick avocados from your own farm before you get the cash.
How strategic.
So when we fill in that gap, the person who is exporting, we can finance them and they are able to get the cash, export, we can wait for 45 days to 60 days. So that's the value proposition and that's where we are in. And why do we shorten the time? And I mentioned something to do with compliance. And I'm keeping on talking about limits. Because as a business owner, you've realized at any one time, I can have this gap. How do I fill in this gap? And that's why we came. We actually come in because we know that speed is of essence.
Yes.
I mentioned compliance. You'll have come in, you've complied everything, is when you need the money, that's when you access the money. And the other value proposition is that assuming your own customers pay you earlier. You've taken a facility with us for say 2 months or 3 months and your customers pay within 10 days. Pay us, you pay interest for 10 days. And that now helps people plan for their costs because cost is very key, the expenses, because that eats into their profit. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, amazing, amazing. And I'm actually thinking of how strategic you are now that we're talking about strategy, to be able to bail out people when things are really thick in their businesses, you know, and you're able to come in and see the opportunities right there. So I'm wondering, do you even bail out mama mbogas, for example?
I look at from a strategy level and the value proposition. I mentioned about the areas that we cover. And I need to mention that our minimum is 100,000 going up.
Minimum.
Minimum. Yeah. And the question is, was it always the case? And initially, we used to do individuals lending and group lending. Then we realized that in group lending, you're making people borrow within the limits of the group members. But do we succeed at the same level?
Tell me about
So that's when we thought probably it's important to look at business as individual business, as a business owner individually.
And not in a group.
Not in a group setting. So I wouldn't say really we are in the micro space, but we are in the medium space, 100 and above. And it's also good to mention that why that space is because we believe as a company, 100K can scale up also on businesses. And you're able to access higher amounts based also on their ability.
Wow.
And one of the things I always tell business owners, don't borrow because how much can you lend to me? But how much does the business need?
Yes, it's the need of the business.
It's the business needs that really count at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it all, you borrow more. The business doesn't need that money. So how would it pay? And I believe Mwalimu Biashara can add one or two.
I know. I know.
Aspect
But
there.
even before you do, Kennon, I know you have so much, and especially from what Lilian has said.
Yes.
Let's just take a break. You'll be amazed that time is moving really fast.
Okay.
Let us take a break so that we breathe. And also our viewers, you can grab a glass of water, sip a little, take a cup of tea. I mean, it's a cold evening. Sit right there. Don't touch that dial so that then after the break we continue. And we are grateful that you're there this evening. Thank you. Thank you. Please keep it right there. So looking forward to seeing you after the break.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
The Asian community in Kenya has been nationally recognized as the 44th tribe of the people of this great nation.
Many of which who have already been exposed to the gospel of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Starting this January, every third Thursday of the month, we bring you Asia Testify,
where we will be listening to life-transforming stories of Asian believers who have walked with the Lord. Only here on Hope TV. Look and live.
Yes, we are so grateful that you kept it right there, dear viewers. And of course, Lilian has brought in something very heavy in what she is saying. And I'm wondering, there is a business person right there who may not even be big enough to understand the dynamics of business, or you may be there and you're still struggling to find your footing in business. And of course, I am actually so glad that the combination of you two are here tonight. So Mwalimu Biashara, in simple terms, how would you help such a business person who's going through the sort of dynamics that Lilian is talking about? You hear school fees, you hear dollar rate, you hear, you know, there are those dynamics that business people go through every other day, including staffing. A staff member has resigned on the morning when things should actually be moving. A key member of staff. So how do you help them to structure their businesses to be able to strategically move forward and make sense out of their businesses?
Okay. Thank you for that, Sarah. So the thing is, the approach to take in such a situation, you realize there are so many balls in the air. And Lilian raises them very, very well. Very good examples, practical examples people can actually relate to. But if you wake up one morning and you're facing all these things at the same time, regardless of how strong you are, regardless of how determined you are, you most probably cannot grasp it. So to your question, we look at strategy from 3 angles. And here I'll just speak a little bit of theory, then I'll go to the main practical bit. You start by formulating a strategy. You stand back and try to think, what do I want to achieve? The very, very, very same things we started with. And most importantly, put them down on paper. Because every time you have written it down, you have a reference point. And talking about scaling a business, then when you start employing people, everybody has a reference point. This is what we are doing. One challenge you've seen with business people is getting what is in their minds into everybody's minds. So they have every intention. So by, first of all, formulating a strategy, and there's a way to do it. There are templates out there in the market. We can also help with those if you need. But it's about taking a day, 2 days, sometimes even a week to stand back and say, where do I want to be in the next few days or next few years rather? And I know while saying that, and especially with COVID and things that are coming up and the VUCA thing you mentioned, the days of building a 10-year strategy and you sit back are gone. However, you need a basic document which is alive with you.
Let me just interject you right
Yes.
there. The days of building a 10-year strategy are gone. What
Yes.
has changed?
You see what you just said, Sarah, when we started off? VUCA, things are volatile, uncertain. They are complicated. They are ambiguous. And that's just one term. You wake up one morning and the speed at which business is done. If you look at what social media is doing, if you look at what ChatGPT is doing,
I tell you,
so
AI.
that's why the days of 10-year strategies are gone. It's because the environment is very fast. Information nowadays is free. You open the internet and you want to ask for something and you get very many versions of it. So it's the speed at which things are going. That's why that has changed, Sarah. But it does not throw away the need to have a basic framework. And thus you have to sit back and say, as much as things are changing, this is the general direction I'm taking. The second part of the strategy now is implementing. You've come from the mountain to pray, or you've come from a retreat somewhere, or wherever you are. Now, when you open the business every day, how do you run it? That's the implementation part. The things Lilian is talking about, I have staff members to pay, I have suppliers to deal with, I have renovations to do. That is the implementation. Then the last part is strategy, monitoring, and control. You have to sit back and see, now that I created a strategy and I'm implementing it, how well am I doing it? Things like KPIs and balance scorecard and when I say these big terminologies, again in Mwalimu Biashara, what we do, we simplify them. When we come to the business, yes, the idea is not to really explain what a balance scorecard is, but it's to help a balance scorecard, help that business person get the gains of that.
Yes.
So those are the 3 areas. Our focus really, if you think about it as a day-to-day business, is the middle part.
I see.
Strategy, implementation. How do you make it happen? And for me, if we can get that one right, then most of the time you see the other 2 will work. Because the formulation takes, it's something you've thought about and you leave it. You can only monitor what you're implementing.
I see.
So one thing we do, especially at Mwalimu Biashara, is, as I said, is create things that help people.
Wow.
Today we have an app called My Hustle. It's free on Play Store. Just go to My Hustle towards, and it's not the hustle political government. No, it's because this is your business. This is your passion. This is what you're running. What that app does, it now helps you implement your strategy. I'll give you a simple example. Businesses succeed, but do they know why they're succeeding? Okay, maybe it could be.
Maybe they call it luck.
It is.
I was lucky.
I was lucky. We are trying to give that luck a word or a sentence or a meaning. And even if you're lucky, Lilian, then, I keep calling you, sorry, Sarah.
It's all right.
Even
We
if you're
alike.
lucky, you look alike.
Yeah.
Eh? Even if you're lucky, how can you replicate that luck a number of times? Because it's what's giving you success. So what My Hustle app does, it helps document these lessons every day. So I thought I'll make 20,000 shillings. I made 25. what actually worked. I record that. Or the following day I thought I'll make 20, I make 16. What did not work? So that process is a learning process that gives you a wealth of knowledge. You can go back and say, I realize my business is failing because there's this one key customer who keeps disappointing, or competition goes with them. So you start seeing a trend, you start seeing a system, and now you start addressing it from a systematic way.
You're actually mining data right there, right?
Yes, yes, you have the data there, you're mining it there, you're helping. That data is actually helping you make informed decisions about your business. So to pick what Lilian has said, this business person who's grappling all over the place, because, and again, I think she only said half of what can happen.
I know.
There's another half that can, there's a lot can happen,
Yeah.
but ability to run your business on paper. If you're able to run your business on paper, then you can go open your doors and run it practically. Of course, the monitoring and controlling is important because uncertainties, you factor those in. So what can go wrong?
Yeah.
You leave yourself some space to, react and get to correct some uncertainties that might come in the business. That's how I look at it, Sarah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And we are moving on very, very well. And I'm loving it that you're exposing your businesses and saying what is it you're doing to be able to run your businesses strategically, or rather that your businesses are running strategically. But I'm looking at a viewer right there who is running a business and they have no idea where to begin. I know you have alluded to this, Kennon, and I want you guys now, Lilian, for example, to tell a mama mboga somewhere, or someone running a kiosk somewhere. There's somebody who's trying to package peanuts or peanut butter. Where do they begin this journey of running a business strategically? Right from the simplest to the most complex, to building it up, to packaging a business and saying that indeed they can sit like the two of you comfortably and they are knowledgeable now and they don't know indeed my business is running strategically. I hope you're getting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that question. And I want to take it a level where one is willing to do a business and they have no idea what business do they want to run, but they are keen, they want to do a business. So where do they get business ideas from? And one is through observation. They couldn't be their own experiences where they are looking for something, they cannot access it. So that means that could form a business idea that they couldn't pursue, check on the market and all that. Then we have someone who has a business idea. And one of the questions, as for example, what you brought up, like a peanut butter, I want to run this business. So where do I start? Where do I get the market? What's the go-to-market strategy? Because at the end of the day, business is one thing, but where will you source the market? Because you can have a brilliant idea, but how do you take this idea to the market?
Yes.
Become very key. And the other thing you need to ask, is the market big enough? How sustainable is it? And I want to give a good example. During COVID, we saw masks being an important aspect. We had so many business owners getting into that business, but today we are not wearing masks today. And we are grateful to God that COVID is behind us. So if one was focusing only on that, then becomes how sustainable is it? Because after the pandemic, then there's no business. So looking at the market becomes very critical. How do you source for the market? Are you going to go through social media to source for this market? Are you going to go through networks? And one of the networks I belong to for the last 7 years is BNI, which is Business Networking International. And we look at promoting each other's business through referrals. And that becomes very key because I know over 40% of our business will come from that network. Because today, if we look at our phones, maybe 1,000 numbers. So if we could open that network, that could be a form of a business.
Benefit each other.
The other thing for this mama boga or somebody who was looking at peanuts is the processes. How will you bring value to the client? What is the customer looking for? If I want peanut butter, for example, delivered to my house, is the person capable of doing that? And are they managing their costs? Today, if I say like Mama Mboga, I'm bring 4 batches of, say, sukuma wiki and 4 spinach. And how would that cost be managed? Because if this Mama Mboga meets the cost of delivering this to my house, are they going to make money if it's done at their cost? So they have to look at that costing, which is key. And sometimes, especially for traders who buy maybe, say, a phone and you sell to maybe like Mwalimu Biashara, you have to look at all the entire costs related to that, because transport is one of them.
Yes.
Electricity that you are consuming, the offices and all that. So there must be unit cost allocated to that. So one has to look at that process, the costings and all that. The other thing is businesses are expanding. How would they work with the team? Who are they going to recruit? Initially, we all recruit friends, family to help us grow our business.
Yes.
But as time goes on, you find that there are certain skills that you require from the market. So how will you source for those skills? And the other thing, will people prefer working for you? Because we can talk of Mama Mboga today, but that Mama Mboga can be an Uber for cabbages, vegetables
Yes.
and all that. So they can scale their business. How do they scale their business?
business.
How do they do that in a sustainable way? Yeah. The other thing is that how do they monitor? Are they really doing the right thing? Yeah. And what are the customers saying? Because that's the other thing that we as business owners, we have to value. What are the customers saying? Today, if a customer goes to Mama Mboga and say, this kuma is not okay, will you say, hii ni venye tunauzanga? Really, you can't do that. But you need to take that as feedback and ask, how do I improve on this? We are hearing nowadays people talking of organic. People want to eat healthy. They need to know, where is this, all these vegetables, why is peanut butter, who is growing them?
Yes.
Where are they sourcing them from?
I hear you.
Yeah, from farm to home.
Yeah.
How is that value chain? So it's very, very key for a business owner to look at all that and ask the value proposition, is it in a sustainable way? What impact does it have?
Yes.
And can it really scale up? Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm thinking you've gone through the business model canvas in one, chunk like that. You know every aspect of it, and you're looking at every bit of the business and advising our viewers that you have to really preempt and go through every part of your business and be able to tell, who are my partners, who are the people I'm working with? Are they suppliers? Is it the government? You might be relying on the government to get your goods or your services to the next level. And how do you relate with them, and what sort of relationships you need to build with them, and so on and so forth. And I'm hoping that our dear viewers, that you're still there. Please engage us. Send us your comments via the SMS line 22232 or Hope TV Kenya. Please send in your comments, send in your questions. We are here for that this evening, and we're looking forward to much more interaction with you. Back to you, Kennon.
Yes.
Lilian has painted that picture, and I want to take it now to the next level of a medium-sized business. You know, there are times you can be caught up in the day-to-day running of your business that you forget to always reflect on this picture that you painted at the beginning.
Yes.
The Bible tells us to write down our vision on paper.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy to forget that vision. You keep, it can be very hard to go back looking at it.
Yes.
So how do you continuously, even as you build a sustainable business, keep that vision running? I'm hoping that you're getting what I'm saying. How do you keep it as part of your day-to-day running, so that then you're not going back every other time to reflect on it? It's actually part of your everyday.
Okay. So then, a rejoinder to what Lilian has shared. The reason people go into business can be summarized into 2 things. You're helping people run away from pain, or you're helping them run towards pleasure. And I like what she has said. A business person needs to identify, you can either do two, or you can either do either or even both of them. The moment you're helping people run away from pain or reduce their pain, the example she's saying, even in her business, 45 minutes to give you a loan. So the pain was, I'm waiting for so long. So a business needs to identify what pain are you solving or what pleasure are you giving people. Now, to the vision and how do you keep it sustainable in your business? Ideas are there, but most times the bulk of it is the execution. That's why they're called chief executive officer. It is that execution that we are looking for, all right?
Whoa, I've never thought about it that
Yes.
way. Executive
That's why
execution.
it's execution. By the way, you can have as many ideas as you can, but the execution is what makes the difference.
Indeed.
That's why there are very many people selling tomatoes. Yet they're all in business. Everyone is executing their business a certain way. So to the SME that is looking at how to sustain this vision and to keep people running, one thing is visibility. HR people will tell you that they even stop you in the corridors and ask you, what is our vision? If that issue is taken seriously, you know, you can do it for the show, you can do it for the manager so that you look good. But if you're able to put that into the hearts of your employees and even to yourself, that I know for sure why I'm doing this. I think I was listening to someone some time back giving an example. I'll just paraphrase in the interest of time. That these guys were building a huge church, a very big cathedral. And I think I got it in SMLD when I did that training. All credit to the trainers in SMLD. That's where I got this example from. But you walk to one person and ask them, what are you doing? The person says, I am just shaping stones. That answer was not good. Goes to the next person. What are you doing? I am actually painting. So he kept doing that until you got to one person and asks, what are you doing? And the person said, we are building the biggest and most beautiful cathedral. That is vision caught.
And probably he was just painting.
Yes, he was actually painting just like the other person.
Okay.
Or they were shaping stones just like the other person,
Yeah.
but they're not seeing they can connect the painting to what this company is trying to do. So if an SME can get themselves to that level, you can pick any example. An insurance broker, what do? We help clients with their claims process.
Or process within 45 minutes for
Going to
Lilian.
that, what do we do? We help people get financing in 45 minutes. Now the person who's doing the vetting, the person who's doing the bookkeeping, the person who's opening the door, they are all doing that to get this loan out there in 45 minutes. So an SME needs to get themselves there. But again, how do you do that? Continue talking about it. Strategy meetings are important. And when we say strategy, sometimes it's not a matter of going out to an expensive hotel. That is done just to get you out of the environment. But speak to your people, communicate what you want them to hear. As I said, most entrepreneurs have it in their minds, but how do you get it to the people? One by one, slowly by slowly, let them know there's a reward mechanism to it, there's a reprimand mechanism to it, getting the right people, getting the right team to be with you. So an SME needs to continue engaging and talking and actually measuring. Measuring is very important. Going back to the accountant I am, unless it is measured, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
Anything that says, put a number to it, put a metric to what you're doing, and let that metric be owned by the people. If it's a person who's doing production, let them own that metric to do production within a certain space. Okay? So keep communicating to the people, and with time, you start standing back. As I close this question, Sarah, if you're an SME who cannot be away for a week and your business runs, you need to rethink. Get to a level where you have empowered people, you've put in systems, you've put in processes that you can actually leave your business for a week and it runs. That's the real test I'd like SMEs to take today. Think about it. And they're easier said, there's a whole process to it, but that's a good target to see that you're actually living your vision through the people.
Wow. Yeah, and as you close at that, in fact, as you were talking, I'm just thinking, what is the place of a team in all these things that we're talking? What is the place of a team in strategy? We're talking strategy, we're talking systems, we're talking, what is the place of a team?
Wow, that's a very good question. And when a person is beginning a business, you are the CEO, you are the team maker, you're the cleaner, you're everything. because resources probably are not allowing for you to hire. But as business takes shape, you have to hire people to help you, because you can have this fantastic idea, but you need people to execute. And I know Mwalimu has alluded to this, that a business owner, it needs to focus on the vision. How do they keep on influencing the vision to the team to be able to move to the next level, to achieve that vision? So as we get along, and to build business, you need to hire. How then do you want to hire? And one of the questions as I mentor business owners, I ask, what kind of an employer would you like to have? And they have very fantastic idea. Someone who treats me well. I need healthcare, insurance. I need to get access to financing, for instance, and all that. And now we look at, you're talking of that environment. How is your environment? Does it reflect those values? Yeah, because people will treat your customers the way you are treating them.
Oh, yeah, you can see that again.
Because at the end of it all, if you treat them well, they'll be looking forward to treating customers well. The environment they are in, how is the lighting? And I just want to give an example of one of the businesses that I was consulting for. And this business owner has a fantastic business. They're into baking and all that. But I realized that when I visited the business, the baking area was a very, very dark. The lighting wasn't so good. You can imagine a change of lighting has tripled this business turnover. Change of lighting. Because it changes the environment that people are working in. They are more productive. So the environment really matters. Are you taking care of the team? And the team, when we look at also the feedback, because I mentioned earlier on, as a business owner, at times you could be the challenge. So when you get feedback, and are you looking at it that, you know, I'm the business owner, so what are you telling me? Or are you looking at it, these people are giving me proposals for us to make this company a great company? Because no one has monopoly of ideas. And without the team, I believe 14 years down the line, will not be where we are.
You can.
I cannot say that I can be everywhere, even as a team leader of Dream Credit. Is that team really matters. They have a purpose for their lives. They are looking at their careers, and more so the impact they have to the customers' lives.
Yeah, I've seen you travel, Lilian. I have seen you out of the country, and you leave your team working and things still move on while you're away.
Absolutely.
You know, if there is a demand to be met, it will still be met. If there is a requisition that has come in, it has still to be done. Why? Because you have equipped a team to be able to do that. And
actually, you've raised the right structures. And I know processes were undiscussed. It's about the right structures, and you have great team that is able to stand in each and every area that is required to run the business.
Great. Of course, the other thing, apart from the team, Kennon, is technology. Technology, as you know, short as you could make it. Where is the place of technology in strategy?
Okay.
And looking at a small business and small to medium businesses, where is the place of technology?
I will probably divide every business into two, back office and front office. So for the back office, how technology comes to help you is you move away from the days of manual processing. Again, in the market, there are many processes that can help you. There are many systems, IT solutions that can help you automate your back office. Why the back office is important to take advantage of technology is because they support the front office. The speed at which they support the front office, the front-facing staff is very important. So technology can be applied in the back office in trying to automate processes, into trying to even train people, into trying to probably even borrow from, get ideas from IT people, ask them, how can we make this one faster, better, quicker, less expensive, scalable, all those things. So you apply technology at the back office people so that they can do things quicker and faster. Obviously, there's an element of saving cost there. We always say technology will render some people jobless, but will also create opportunities for others. So it depends on the side that you're in. Now, coming to the front office people, technology is all about, and I've seen this a lot even in my business, markets are being reached using very different means nowadays. I have every respect for billboards. But in addition to the billboard you put out there, see this small gadget here, this is where businesses are being run. How do you appeal to your customers at their convenience? The amount of time people spend on their gadgets today is a lot. Now, the idea about using technology for front office is to trying to get their airtime. Look at what people are doing advertising. There's a YouTube thing going on, but someone chips in advertisement in there. So for me, the front office people is to make sure that, especially in social media, you are in the social media space in the right way, targeting the right people, and in a way, where do you find them? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Twitter? Is it on Facebook? Where do you find your people? Okay, so there's a lot that's happening on the space of mobile, and I've actually seen it in my own business as I've seen that simple advertisement, Facebook ad, and you nicely target it well, and you really get leads. I get over 200 leads in a week for myself.
Can you imagine?
And these are people who are focused to what I want to communicate to them. So there is a space of technology also for their front-facing stuff, Sarah.
Great. And of course, because the reason as to why I brought in tech is because it has become such an enabler that you cannot separate business from, tech from business.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
I
You
agree,
can't. It's
I
something
agree.
that we must actually align to and be able to strategically position it in our businesses
Absolutely.
and ride on it to enable our businesses to keep moving.
Yeah.
Now, we are almost closing.
Oh.
Time has moved really fast. And what I request of you guys is to give our dear viewers some insight, some advice as your parting shot in terms of running their businesses strategically, and also finally to share your contact so that any of our viewers who would like to reach you can be able to reach you. We can start with Lilian. Yeah.
Thank you. To the viewers tonight, one thing I'll encourage you. You have this dream. You have to believe in it. You have to be willing to sacrifice for it to succeed. Number 3, you need to lay processes and think of the value proposition that you are offering to the customer. Keep that one. Know that the customer is the one who have hired you at the end of it all. When they are happy, they'll talk good about your services or products. They are likely to grow your business through referrals, because referrals are very key. And we know as business owners, when we get referrals, we are likely to close those deals as opposed to cold calling or looking for contacts over the net and all that. So it can be done. It calls for the faith. It's also good to commit our plans to the Lord, because He blesses the work of our hands. We cannot do without who has really created us and knows us, knows those plans. Commit them towards God, and He shall reward you and grow your business and have the impact that you are looking at. Thank you.
Lovely. You could share your contacts with us, Lilian, so that just in case anybody would want money, big money,
In 45 minutes.
in 45 minutes.
Yeah,
yes.
in 45 minutes
Can be able
upon
to reach
compliance,
you.
you have the cash. It's
Yeah.
0763 497 892. That is 0763 497 892.
Very
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you very much, Lilian. It was really great having you here. Kennon?
So for me, my parting shot to the viewers today is, first, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Sometimes businesses are won using a very small window. Believe in yourself. That small gap, keep fanning it. I have great respect for people who wake up every morning to do businesses, Sarah, because it's a challenging thing. So believe in yourself, go for it, seek help. Okay, and sometimes don't look at it as an expense, look at it as an investment. And small amounts of money that can give you a lot of leverage into where you're going. Again, thinking about strategically, run your business from formulating what you want to do, having an implementation plan, and having a way to monitor and control it. That's what I would say to the businesses out there. And again, God is the ultimate. We believe that at the end of the day, after you've done all you want to do, it is God who blesses the work of our hands and gives us wealth that adds no sorrow.
Amen. Amen.
In terms of our contacts, mwalimubiashara.com, you'll find us. That's our website. You'll find everything you need there, mwalimubiashara.com. The number to reach us is 0769 494 260. That is 0769 494 260. And don't forget to download the app called My Hustle. I'm hustling for it because it has taken the entire strategy plan and put it in a way that you can follow. It is free of charge for now. Go ahead and explore it. It will give you a very good idea about strategy.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I am so glad that Lilian and Kennon, you joined me tonight. It has been an amazing show with you guys, just breaking down strategy from your own experience, from your own business side, but also breaking it down to our viewers on what they can do, and also in addition to the support that you're able to give them even as they move forward. So our dear viewers, from me, it is first and foremost, find out what is it that God would want you to do. Don't get into a business because somebody else is excelling in it. Get into a business because this is what God is taking you to do, is asking you to do, is inviting you to do, so that then you're not going a path that somebody else should be going, and then you suffer for the sins that they should be suffering for. Suffer your own. Take your own journey. And this can just come from inspiration from God. Pray about it, seek the Lord, read His Word, and open up your eyes, because God has a way of just inspiring you and showing you where the gaps are, so that then you do a business that is aligned to the will of God. Don't be like Jonah, taking a ship to a different direction instead of going to Nineveh, where God was sending him. But in addition, once you have caught your vision and you know where you're headed to, like Kennon says, learn and learn some more. Seek advice, seek counsel, seek knowledge, seek wisdom. And there is a lot of support today from coaches, from mentors, from people who educate, and even from the university itself. I mean, seek knowledge and then align and begin the business boldly and courageously. Go at it courageously. Hit the road running. Of course, there is bound to be challenges here, there, and everywhere. But let me tell you, your challenges make for stepping stones. These are not stumbling blocks. They are stepping stones to the next level. So you keep moving, keep doing it, and as you do it, you will discover things that you never knew yesterday, and that is where growth comes from. But assuming you never began, you have no lessons to learn. So strategy begins right with God, and like somebody said, ultimately, in the ultimate is God. So keep at it and keep doing it. I am sure things are getting better as we move and build the business community in Kenya and beyond, because this is what God has called us to occupy until it comes. So looking forward to seeing you next week. It has been real. It has been really amazing having you guys there. Thank you very much. See you next week, same time, same place. Kwaheri.